Hello everyone. I thought I would have a little bit of fun during all this quarantine craziness and show anyone who wants to watch how it is that I make my homemade bread. I know that there are shortages at the stores right now and there may be some bread available, but I am very picky with my bread. So I learned how to make my own bread at home, and it's quite yummy, and it's fantastic as toast, and amazing when you make it as a grilled cheese sandwich too. So if you want to try using a bread machine and make your own bread at home, I'll show you what I do and see if you guys want to try it yourself. Okay. So this is my bread machine. I got it at a garage sale this last summer, believe it or not, for about $7. And it's a Sunbeam, and it's programmable to make these different kinds of breads. So first thing you do is you open it up and you pull out the pan, and you use a recipe of your choice. I use breaddad.com, and it's just a generic white bread recipe. It's simple, and you put in the ingredients from top to bottom. Liquids first, followed by your flour, and then you top it with your sugar, salt, and very last your yeast. And it's important not to get the yeast wet during this process. That's why it's on top of the flour. And you don't want the yeast to get wet until it's in the machine and on and doing its thing. So I warmed the milk up already in the microwave just to get it a little bit warm. Same with the butter. And you just pour it in the machine. So, milk first. Try and do this without making too big of a mess. And then your butter. Get it in there. Okay. And now your flour. And this is bread flour. I have used the all-purpose flour because I was out of bread flour, and it still turns out fine and just as yummy. It just won't rise as much, and so the loaf and the bread will be more condensed, which is fine. And then what I like to do is kind of level it out before I add in the other ingredients. And I'll make a little hole in the center for the yeast. Here's the sugar and salt. And then the yeast. And then stick it into the bread machine. And you click it into place. And then you plug it in. And it's already set to basic off the bat. Crust color I set to medium. And you hit start, and that's it. You walk away for 3 hours, and then it's done. Let's see if I can... What I have done is I'll wait until it mixes pretty good, and then I'll open the lid just very briefly, and I'll use a spatula just to scrape the edges, so that way all of the flour gets used to make the dough and not be retained and stuck on the outer edge and not mix in. So when you pull your bread out at the very end, you won't have chunks of flour that are caked into the bread. And it'll do many different cycles. You'll hear beeping, and all it is going from one cycle to the next. Very low maintenance, very easy. I recommend doing this at home, and it's very fun, and it's yummy. Okay, this is about when I'll go in and I'll scrape the edges. Be really careful. You don't want to hit the paddle. Just stick to the outer edges. Scrape it towards the ball. And that's good enough. And close the lid. And that's it. Okay, so the bread is now done. The timer is at 0 and the machine let off some beeps. So now what you do is you open the lid, and it's going to be hot. So give it a second. And then you want to use a hot pad holder and grab the handlebar and lift it up. It's stuck in there, so you kind of gotta pull it, and then set on the counter and let it set for about 5 minutes, and then we'll dump it out. So now it's been about 5 minutes, and we just take the pan and turn it upside down and get the bread out of the pan and onto the cooling rack. See if I can do this one-handed. And there it is. Now we let it cool, and then we can slice it. Okay, so here is my bread all sliced up and in bags. Other things you could do with it is you could take the heel and put it in your toaster and make croutons for your salad. Super yummy. Thanks for watching my video, and I hope maybe I have inspired you to also try to make your own bread at home. And there are other recipes that you could try if you don't like the first one you use. And you can also make other things besides bread as well. I made banana bread in the bread machine last week, and it turned out really yummy. and I'm gonna try making some pizza dough in it and some pretzels. So hopefully I'll do that within the next week or two and see how that turns out. And maybe I'll try some other cool things. All right, well, have a nice night, everyone.